Hello everybody, welcome to Talk That Tony, where we talk that talk. I'm your host Tony, so let's talk. I'm getting good at this intro stuff. Maybe one day I'll actually put like an actual intro music and all, but this is just the beginning, so bear with me. Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. I didn't think I was gonna make a video today, but here I am with the new screen protector, by the way. That's not foggy, so I'm actually a little crisp today, thank God. It's actually almost 12:30 in the afternoon. I got off work and I am free for the day, and I thought, why not make a video? I'm like really enjoying this. Hopefully I have some more things to talk about. I apologize for the last video. That seemed like I was talking about nothing. It's just you just have those days you have when you make a video every single day just about this talking. Sometimes it's not things to talk about always. Got my coffee, we're ready. So let's start with the fashion segment. Today I'm rocking some colors, pop of colors. I think this is from American Eagle. Sure, it's from American Eagle. I think I bought it like 2 years ago. I like the colors. My mom told me this was like a style back in the day, so whatever. I just like the colors. It's all bright, it's all me. Hope everybody is well today. I may go for a walk after this video. We'll see. Just got off work. People are animals. It's a Saturday afternoon in retail. People blowing their money on absolutely nothing. People getting taxes, their stimulus, and then they're gonna return half the shit next week anyways. So that should be fun, right? If I could drive, we'll get into this. If I could drive, I'd be out and about, like just road tripping, like day tripping. I would love to be outside, not be at stores, and just not in commercial areas. I'm gonna consider the area like commercial where there's stores and malls and stuff. Not necessarily residential because that's like neighborhoods, but I'd like to be out and about, you know, driving, going to parks and lakes and trails. But driving has been a struggle for me. Not to drive, but the actual process of getting the license has been hell and back, okay? I don't even know where to explain. It's just like this goes back. I made a video back in 2014 about this, kind of ranting about just getting my ID. My parents, I blame my parents to start. You know, everything starts with the home and your parents. Growing up, I was very sheltered, and I was very, I guess you could say, immature. I call it a kid at heart. I was like a tomboy kind of person, very wild and just over the top. And looking back, very gay, but immature, I guess you could say. But I've always been high on life, and it's very misunderstood to this day. And I've talked about this before. Like, I'm very misunderstood. I'm very underestimated just by the way I am and how I act. And you know, how I am has gotten me far. It's always a blessing and a curse with me. Everything I say, I feel like it's a blessing and a curse. But long story more short, you know, I feel like I grew up slower than everybody else. Everybody was off doing, like, I guess, more mature things at certain ages than me. I was still at home. My parents wouldn't let me leave the house much. I was still at home playing in the backyard, like a 5-year-old at the age of like 13, 14. So like, if that kind of explains things, like put some perspective, I grew up slower than other people, I would say. But I was just always high on life. I always was in my own world. I always felt like I didn't need anybody else. I was just always independent. And I feel like that's how I grew to be independent like this today. It's just, I mean, I can appreciate my parents for that also in a way, because, you know, kids around here at my age were doing, like, you know, the drugs and sex and smoking and all the stuff that I'm glad I didn't get into, because now, like, half these people I see today that I grew up with or went to school with, they're all in a rough world right now. I'll keep it at that. But so I can appreciate my parents for that. You know, my parents we grew up well. I had a good childhood. And I don't say well as in like rich, not at all, but I had a good childhood, you know. So, but I was very overprotected and sheltered. So kind of affected how I grew up and lived my adult life. But anyway, moving on. Long story short, I take driver's ed. It was free. It was offered to you in school my freshman year of high school. So it's end of 2009. I'm taking driver's ed. Everything is fine. I take the road test, and I'm not like not even nervous. Like, I'm a cautious person, and I'm cautious with driving, but I wasn't like scared like everybody was making it out to be. It's like everybody knew me, but I know me more than anybody else. And I can't get that through people's heads, especially my family. They have everything set in their ways, and you can't change it. They can't change. You can't change their mind no matter how much you show them. And if you show them, they forget the next time. Like, oh, so just like I can't. It's like it's like playing a broken record or whatever the phrase is. But my parents would not take me to the DMV to get my license, even though I could get my permit. They wouldn't even take me to get my permit. They didn't think I was ready. I was too immature. They didn't see me drive. You know, they didn't take me driving or practicing. Everybody else saw me like at school, but they didn't see me. And I feel like them as parents should have pushed me as their child to do more things like that, like grow them up a little bit and get them out of the nest in a way, but they didn't do that. They just kept me around. They really sheltered me. I made them feel bad about it one day, and that's when they finally started pushing me a little bit, but they still never did, you know? Like, as parents, you want to push your kids to like, come on, let's drive, let's learn. And no, never. And if I would have never brought it up, they would never say a thing. So I get a lot of frustration from that to this day. Thinking like, oh my God, I could have been driving 10 years ago now. Like 12 years ago. But so after that, I never really, honestly, just kind of left it alone. So maybe that's where it's turned into my fault. Starts with them, then it goes into me because I never really pursued it anymore. A few years later go by, I'm in my first like serious relationship, and it starts to be an issue where I need to drive. I get it. And I was in this mindset, well, I'm gonna move into the city one day. I don't need to drive. Here I am downtown, but anyway. But I don't need to drive. Why? Ooh, and this was right as Uber was starting to like really be a thing. I was like, well, Ubers are here now. This is perfect. But yeah, so it started being an issue where, you know, it was like all like the load of driving was on my ex, and I was having initiative problems with wanting to drive or taking it upon myself to like step up the driving. But it still goes back to my parents, where I was still living with my parents and they weren't pushing me. They weren't going to put me on their car insurance to get a license, because you need to be on somebody's insurance to get your license. They were not going to do it. I don't know anybody else. I didn't know anybody else that really would do it. Like, I don't have friends like, oh yeah, girl, we got you. Oh yes. And I don't have people like that who would do it, you know? So I'm kind of stuck, okay? So some more years go by, and I'm practicing, and I drive, like all these years are going by, I'm driving, I'm practicing, and I can drive, I'm fine. But my family, who think they know me more than me, assume I just don't, like I get too afraid behind the wheel, and I cannot say anything to convince them otherwise. Or they think you should do driving school. Like they think they know they know how I drive like an idiot. Like, no, I don't. Like, don't misunderstand how I am for the whole driving thing. Like, no. I feel myself getting passionate now. I mean, it's a horrible situation, really. Like, I want to be driving. So, fast forward. I make some progress. It's 2000. Skip a lot here. 2014, I finally get my permit. No, I finally get an ID, because my parents were like, well, let's do something. Let's get you an ID. But even that's hard as can be. You can watch that video. I don't know if I still have it. I think I act kind of crazy. Like, those are my years of trying to find myself. So everything you need to get a state ID, we had nothing. My parents couldn't find my social security, so we had to get a new social security card. We had to get copies of your birth certificate, like nothing. I'm like, where the hell? Like, what the hell? So Long story short, I get my state ID finally. Fast forward some more years now. Now at this point, me and my ex, we're not together, obviously. It's 2019. When did I get my permit? 18 or 19, I finally get a permit. So I'm like, great, this is perfect. So now, 2019 to into 2020, pre-COVID now. This was before COVID hit. Because once COVID hit, then hell all broke loose because you couldn't go to the DMV, you couldn't go anywhere, okay? I hate our stupid little shit DMV here that I will never go to again for this. I'll go to some country town where I can take a driving test in a little country town. They'll pass me with flying colors. That's my plan, that's my thought. But anyway, I go to take my driving test. Before I get into that story, I fail the test 3 times. I don't think it's my fault. They have stupid requirements. These people driving out here, I know you have like everyone's way of driving their own personal style, but you have the state's style, which is stupid, and that's why you don't pass. You know, you got to do the 3-point turn, and I could do fine, but I hit one curb and I failed that, so I'm like, whatever. Another time was my turning was a little wide, and let me tell you about the ratchet woman I had, okay? This woman, oh my God, like the last time I went to the DMV in town, and was the last time I actually went to the DMV in general before COVID and everything, I wanted to get my permit. I was ready, you know, I kept studying. I have the apps that give you the tests and stuff, and you are really like am obtaining this, getting this information, because I have a problem with like knowledge. It goes in one ear and out the other. So I really have struggled with that and processing stuff. So I feel like I've had a learning disability all my life and nothing was done about it. Of course, my parents probably didn't think so. They're like, oh, you're fine. Anyway, oh, I'm talking to death. I take my driving test. I'm like in good spirit. First time I went, of course, you don't have everything you need. They lie to you. They tell you, oh, you need this, 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 and this. You get up there, oh no, you're missing something. We can't take you. And that's how it's always been. You're either missing something or they just don't want to deal with your ass. Okay, at least our DMV in town here. Never go to again. So I'm ready. Okay, finally, this next time I'm ready. I got everything ready. Insurance papers are faxed. My parents finally put me on the car insurance. Oh, get this. They only put me on the car insurance just so I can take my test, and then they take me off the insurance if I fail, or if I do pass, they'll still take me off until I get my own vehicle. I just have the license so they can save money. Money is always a tight thing for them, but still, really? Like, shake my head. So anyway, so I'm ready to take my test. I passed the permit. I passed the written part and I got my permit. So this is like couple of fails later. I took the test twice and I already failed for the stupid reasons. The third and final time now, I have this woman who I go up to. I'm trying to think. This was like now two years ago now almost. I'm at the woman. I'm like giving my information, and woman next to her, the person in the booth next to me, was having some kind of issue with my instructor. I don't know when they crossed paths. They had already been doing something by the time before I came into the picture. So they're both making snippy remarks back and forth, okay? And I'm like, okay, it's not about to go down right here. Come on now. The woman next to me is like complaining about something, and the other woman, my instructor, is making like smart ass remarks, and I'm like, this is not professional. So they're going back and forth, and this woman starts to be like nasty, and at this point I'm on her side because this bitch in front of me should not be messing with this bitch, because this bitch will eat that bitch, and that, anyway, not saying she's fat or anything, but like eat as in cut you, bitch. Like she means like she about to jump over the counter and like strangle my bitch. Okay, this bitch, that bitch. Me, I'm just like, oh my God. So I'm kind of getting a little nervous because I'm just like, oh my God, because of course if you're in you're getting yourself worked up, you're in the moment, you're gonna start acting out towards people, and you don't mean to. You're gonna like take it out on people. Of course, that's what I get. So we get in the car. Now, mind you, the DMV is on a busy street. Okay. It's kind of hard to hear. That's my excuse, because otherwise I didn't hear. I thought she said turn the car on. Oh, no. We get in the car. This bitch that was next to me comes out, and now here's where she starts acting a fool. Starts screaming at my woman, my bitch in front of me, my instructor. My instructor, let me tell you, she gets out of the car and now they're going at it in the parking lot. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, so I put the car on. Oops, that's all I'm going to say is oops. I thought she said turn the car on as well. Mind you, on the busy street. She stops fighting this woman, looks at the car, looks at me, and she comes around, act like, coming at me now, like, did I tell you can put the car on? Like, so like, I already know I'm gonna fail because I'm already like messed up in the head. I'm nervous. I'm like a nervous wreck. I'm like, I don't know what you said. I can't hear with the traffic, right? Of course, in the moment, you're kind of being nice, but then afterwards, you're like, oh, I should have been a bitch back to you. Like, ugh. So, you could have killed me. I was in front of this car. Da, da, da. You could have drove. Like, how do I know you're not a crazy driver? I'm like, thinking to myself, clearly I'm not a crazy driver. Little old shy, innocent me here in the car, like, So now she already has an attitude, but now I guess sent her over the edge. So I don't know what happens to the fight here, but they break it up, they're gone, and now my instructor, now I gotta deal with this. I'm gonna call her a this because she acted. So we're driving and she's already like in an attitude, and she's kind of giving me smart ass remarks like, I'm signaling, I'm doing everything right, but she's one of those people that will find something wrong with. And I know her name. Oh, I know her. Let me just say it matched her hair color. Her name was a color. Swamp ass. So we're going to do the 3-point turn kind of thing. And I back up, although I'm doing that fine. And I guess I'm a little bit into somebody's driveway. Nobody was home, by the way, but I guess that's not the point. But anyway, she's like, well, I guess if they want to get out, they can because you're parked in front of the driveway. Like, she's being real smart ass with me. And I'm thinking to myself, bitch, say one more thing, okay? Say one more freaking thing. So we were done. Of course, I failed. And then she tried to be nice about it, like, I'm like, bitch. I sent in a formal complaint, and the rest was history. I'm just like, ugh. So now COVID hit, and everything shut down. So you couldn't do that. And now I'm at the point where my permit expires. I'm like, of course, because now I'm under the impression if my permit expires, I have to take the written test again to get a new permit to then get my license. I'm like, oh my God. But they have a 5-month extension because of COVID. I don't know what happened. I still missed the 5 months and it just did not work out. I get with my now boyfriend and we're practicing. We're doing good. Just the time, everything, life was just getting in the way at that moment. And of course, I missed deadlines. Everything's expired. So right now, I've got nothing. And my state ID is about to expire soon. And I'm just like, who has this issue with driving? Like, if you guys only knew. I don't know if this sounds stupid to some of you, but to me, this is a real stress that's been on me for years. I mean, it's not like it's not ruining my life, but I push it to the side. But like, when you get into it like I am now, it's annoying AF. Like, it's ridiculous. This took up 21 minutes of the whole video. Like, it is honestly stupid. It is stupid. Anyway, so that's the story of my driving. So where I'm at today, I got to start practicing the book again in case I got to take the written test. I got to know the state's answers, even though I have my own answers for everything here with driving. Driving for me is not an issue, okay? But the point of the story is what started this conversation. I can't wait to drive. Like, on days like this, if I'm home and I want to do something, I can get out of the house and do something. But now where I live in the city, I also pushed back a little bit on wanting to drive. When I first moved into the city here about like 7 months ago, whatever, it was last July. I was like, oh, I'm in the city now. I don't need, like, I'm close to work. I can Uber. My boyfriend could drive me if he wants. I'm not asking him to, but he offers, and I could walk around here. Like, it was perfect. I'm living the dream I wanted. I wanted my first place to be in the city. Here I am. But now I'm like, want to drive now, and you know. Love to hit gosh. That's where I'm at right now with the driving, guys. That is where I am at with this driving. I'm like feeling cute right now. The lighting is perfect. Outfit's on point. I'm like glowing. I feel like the older I get, the younger I'm looking. Knock on wood. I've been using moisturizer, you know. I started using moisturizer a few months ago. I'm actually seeing a difference. Plus it goes into when you just are that free spirit, when you are just so positive and you just kind of live life at a high. Like when you stay positive, it really helps you too. I feel like when you stress and cry, or you just depressed or down so much, it affects you. When you smoke, when you drink, it drains you. Certain things you just gotta watch. And you can't smile. That's another thing. If you smile a lot, you get a lot of lines, you know. I've heard that, seen that, and you know, I believe that. So that's why I smiles. I give you a lot of face, you know, I give a lot of smiles. Plus I don't like my smile. I think I'm going to cut it here, guys. I think I'm done talking and rambling. I'm passionate enough. Plus, it's nice to talk when it's later in the day. I feel like I'm kind of half dead, waking up still in the mornings when I do these videos, 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning. And the coffee didn't kick in yet. I'm just drinking my first cup of coffee at that point. So, thanks for watching today's Talk That Tony. We talked that talk. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below on whatever you want, what you think. If you like these videos still, if you want me to cover something, let me know and I will get back and see what I can do. So, thanks for watching and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!